and again with my co-announcer Teddy Tom, aka Mystic Ted. We did tell you in the live draw that we was going to do a prediction, obviously, of who was going to win the championship, and we'd go through the round 1 games and tell you who we think will win and why. Obviously, the PS4 community are extremely good and very quick at getting their games done, and already we've had a few done already, but well, you know, that's good. We'll go through the rest of them, and then obviously Mystic Ted will give you his prediction, and obviously I will give you my prediction to win it, aka the Bernie's Curse, apparently. So let's get on with it. First of all, though, the first game was already being played. Last Try and Dead, but it's Gimlick, who was the Season 7 champ, against Rainy Entertainment, who was the current champion. I did mention in the live draw how much of a curse it is for the winner of the season before. And it's hit again. I mean, was you surprised at the result, or would you have predicted Gimlick to get through, Ted?
Well, I did think it could have been gone either way, but I did slightly favoured more Gimlick just because he had the more strength to deal with the onslaught of the Norse.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I must admit, out of the two, it was pretty close, but I thought the strength may go in the favour of Gimlick, and obviously the thing what swayed me was the curse. So that, you know, I was like, no way, we'll go with the Undead. So that one's a surprise. The next game, though, Flames of Azurian, or however you want to pronounce it, versus Illustrian All-Stars. We'll have a look at the High Elves first, because like Lexington D, he actually private messaged me saying, look, my team just got an absolute beating. I think it was from a Case Dwarf team. But he said, look, you know, I'll give it my best, I'll still be there, but he said it's going to be a lot harder now. Now, he impressed me last season, because he got through the first round when I didn't expect him to, against a very good Dwarf team, if I remember. So, you know, he's improving all the time. I'm just going to see if I can find them. There they go. And his TV is not very high now, obviously. There's 1,200 plus learners. I mean, how many players has he got? 8. So he's going to get another 30. So that's another 210. So he's going to be clocking at 1410. Like I said, it's nothing great. His 2 blitzers have got bludgeon sidestep, but the key piece is obviously the catcher, movement 10, bludge piece. So basically, 1 push and he could possibly score. What do you think of this team? I know there's not much there, Teddy, but is there anything you want to say about them?
It's just a bit. He's got the blodge. I think just the lack of games, or just not a lot of skill ups. I would like to think, because I guess that this team's gone through a lot, but I don't think this team's going to do all that well.
Yeah, the last game he played against was Officials, the Blue and Yellows, and we know how Official likes to wreck teams, so it doesn't surprise me that, you know, Official actually did the damage. I mean, I'm just checking now to see what sort of damage it was. 20 armor break, so that's bad. 3 kills, it killed 3 elves. So there you go. 6 injuries, 3 kills. So yeah, he probably did have a decent amount of players, what were good quality, but unfortunately, Official, as he's been doing for quite a while now, just killed them. So that's a massive blow. We had it last season with Freeman. He had the same problem. He played 1 game too many, and he lost a lot of plays and didn't really recover. But he's still got that movement 10 piece. So while he's got that, you'd like to think he's got a chance. What do you think of this line with movement 9 though? Sorry, with armor 9. It's a bit of an odd thing to give it an unskilled elf, isn't it?
Well, some people like to give it the extra armor because they don't think AV8's safe. They'd rather go with something like AV9.
Yeah, but
some of us know what AV9's like.
Yeah, well, yeah, we do definitely. But the thing is, he's got no skills, so it's not like he's an important piece yet. So I thought that was a bit odd, to be honest.
Well, it helps that you can just stick him on the line, and he's less likely to get injured or something.
Yeah, maybe. But so many things with bloody Claw these days, you know. And I did say just a minute ago about Freeman. So if we just have a look at the Illustrian All Stars, last season it was him who he played 1 game too many. Yeah. He played 1 game too many, and when I spoke to him, he said he was happy with the draw until he found out that the guy had a 1-turner, and then he was like, "Oh dear, I'm not too chuffed now." But again, he's got some decent pieces. Most of his Saurus have got blocks, so that's good. His Crocs go. Look at that block. I think it was a massive talking point in one of the Nuffle Shuffle shows where we were saying, "Why on earth would you take tackle?" No, you could have gone so better with diving tackle for 1. You could have gone dodge and then gone for break tackle next time. There's so many better skills. oh yeah, there's so many better skills, and he said to me, I just don't want them dodging away. It's -1 because of the preemptive tail, and obviously tackle stops the dodge skill, so he wants them to either fail or bear rerolls. But I think, there's a lot better option he had. Strength 3 skink there with Shofi and diving tackle. Again, I question the choice. If you're going to go diving tackle, surely you're going to go sidestep next. Why go Shofi?
Or jump up. Or jump up as well with diving tackle.
Yeah, that would be better, I suppose. So I'm a bit, he's a good coach, as Freeman. I mean, I'm a big fan of his, but he does come across with some extraordinary, bizarre skill choices. But there you go. I mean, he's only got 2 team rerolls as well, so that is a bit of a worry, especially with overtime it could go to, and obviously everything else. I don't know. I mean, he's coming up at 1600, so the high elves are going to get inducements. They're probably going to have enough for at least a wizard if he wants to go down that route, or he might go for extra players. I don't exactly know, but who wins this game and why, Teddy?
I think the Lustrian All-Stars, they've got the skills needed to be reliant on themselves, so they won't make as many mistakes in terms of blocking. The elves don't really have any tackle on their team, so the skinks are relatively safe. He does have block, but block can only help you so far. And just the numbers game from the lizards will get in and cause injuries as well.
Yeah. I mean,
and the lizards do have a number of tackles as well. Like, he's got 2 tackle thanks to the crocs, and if you just park your crocs next to that catcher and then get a skink next to him, that's a -3 on the dodge with no reroll if he puts 2 of them together.
The thing is though, Lexington really shouldn't get his catcher in that sort of trouble with it having movement 10. To me, it just I know everybody's gonna go for the lizards here, but something inside me saying pick the elves. I've got this vision that he's got the 110, so he could score in 1 turn. He got the potential of a new wizard. So blast them, get the ball, score. The only thing I'd like to see in this, and he may have already had when he's just been killed, is some sort of leaping elf. But
leaping the cage.
Oh, it's a tough one, isn't it? It's if I go with the flames and they get stuffed, I'll look stupid. But if I go for the all stars and the elves win, I'll be kicking myself.
I just think the lizards have a better matchup, and like you said, he does have a 1-turner, but most likely on the line, he's going to probably put a couple of Saurus and the Crocs down, which is strength 4. It's not exactly the easiest piece to mark up and then try to blitz, especially when he's got all that guard as well. So it's still going to be difficult to try in 1 turn, because he still needs to get that push, and without sidestep, he needs to position a bit more cleanly.
Okay.
I would say.
Yeah. So, are you going for the All Stars then?
Yeah, and of course, both these coaches, I have played them a couple of times. They are good. I just think team-wise, Freeman has the advantage.
What score are you predicting?
Probably a 2-1 victory for the All Stars. I can easily see the higher scoring. I can see the lizards both half just getting the ball, taking control, just taking their time and scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, it's. I'm going to go with the All Stars as well. I really want to take the Elves, but I think you make a very compelling case. It's a tough one. I'm gonna go with the All Stars. I'm gonna go 2-1 as well. I think the Elves could score. Even if the Lizards go into a 2-0 lead, I can see him playing that safe defense to stall him from scoring. I think 2-1 as well. So I'll take the Lustrian All Stars with you to take on Gimlick and his crazy undead. The next game is an interesting one because this Necro guy shouldn't have actually qualified, but unfortunately the original winner of the Necro spot said he didn't have the time to play it, so obviously he was the next one in. He hasn't really got much, if I remember either.
He's missing a flesh golem for the next game.
So that's huge already, isn't it? That is huge.
He's got a couple of movement ups. He's got an agility 4 Gil. He's got a movement 9 Wolf and a movement 7 White. That's pretty much it. Oh, the Wolf has dodge as well.
I'm just. There we go.
All.
I was just about to say. I was just about to come find it. Then it's right on the first page. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those awkward ones, isn't it? Because he obviously didn't expect to qualify with his team, you know. So I get that. Necro this season was extremely quite a weak affair. Flynn Sorrow had the best record, but he took the Orcs. So
Yeah.
with Gimlick deciding
3
not
wins,
to go,
1 loss.
Gimlick didn't
Sorry,
go Necro.
that was his record.
So, yeah, Gimlick didn't go Necro, so that was a big hole. I didn't go Necro, so there's another big hole. So it was one of those less contested races, but he's got in. That golem missing is massive. That is terrible. His White's only movement 5. Oh dear, it's a mess of a team. But he will get inducements, and like I say, Necro usually do pretty well in the playoffs. I don't know the guy at all. 3 wins, 1 loss though, so that's not too bad. I'm trying to see if I don't really. Oh, yeah. His defeat was to the Dwarfs, who are in the playoffs. That's Nintendo's Dwarfs, who did 18 armor breaks as well. So, yeah. I won't worry too much on that.
Yeah, sometimes there's not much you can do there.
No. I mean, he's got nice, like I say, he's got nice movement 9 and dodge werewolf, so that's pretty good. Gimlick, hello, buddy. How are you doing? Congratulations again through the first round. And the other team he's playing then is it's Mon. I like Mon. He was one of those guys before he was the wild cards. I just couldn't understand how he'd never get into the playoffs because he's obviously a good coach. But since it's gone to the why is he not there? Do you know this thing just?
It's page 3. One team, it's the Dark Elves.
Yeah, I was just trying to search him via coach, and he just says he didn't exist for some reason. But yeah, Mon plays Dark Elves very well. He also plays Wood Elves very well. Look at this team.
I'm always running into him playing an elf team.
Yeah, he knows how to do.
It's any elf.
I mean, the thing is, the guy's gonna have inducements, but my head is saying this is gonna be a car crash. I can see. Yeah. I mean, it was last season when Mon when he beat the Goblins 6-1. I think this could be another nice, comfortable 3-4-0 victory. I think Mon takes this, and I think he takes it comfortably. What about yourself?
Yeah, I have to agree. There's not a lot of good Necro star players that can really do well against Dark Elves, per se. And the Dark Elves are packing in more of a punch with the 2 Witch Elves with Mighty Blow.
Yeah, there. One thing I forgot to tell you as well is obviously now you're my partner in crime. Each round I have a triple B rating, you have a triple TED rating, where basically you give us your banker of the round. Okay, apparently the triple B rating is cursed, so we'll have to see how the triple TED rating works. So remember, while we go through these, remember which one you think is the best one, and then we'll come back and ask you. But yeah, so I'm going for the Dark Elves. You're going for the Dark Elves, I presume. And what score are you going for?
Yeah. Probably a 3-0 victory. I know it sounds a bit much, but I don't see the Necro doing a lot. I mean, the only advantage they do have the claw, so it does help reduce their armor to 87. But just other than that, I don't think it's going to be enough to stop the Dark Elves.
Yeah, it's always awkward because, like I said, it was a bit similar to when I was watching Canary versus obviously iMedia. You sort of go for the guy you know because you don't know the other guy. But I've got to go. I've got to go with the Dark Elves. Troll Factory versus the Bloody Elves. So that's Demented versus Zoned, and that's Kislev. So they take on Demented. Ooh. So I'm trying to find Zoned. What page is Zoned on? You'll probably find it before me. Yeah, there they are. Troll Factory. So 1350 TV. Oh god, his best player's out, so that doesn't help. 3 guard pieces. He's got a bear. I'm still debating if a bear is good for a Kislev team or not. Oh god, he's got a few nice pieces out. 2 very nice pieces out, and then just a standard Larnan. He's got 9 players, so you're going to add another 120 onto that, so it's 1470. Only 50k in the bank as well. The good thing though, is you've always got a chance, haven't you? You've always got a chance with Kislev because you can just leap in and try and get the ball off him. It's
Yeah.
interesting to see how they play against Wood Elves though, because Demented, obviously one of the best Wood Elf players in the game. I think I've played Zoin before, but obviously not often enough. Is there anything you like in this Kislev team, Ted?
Well, it's nice that he's got a couple guard on the catches. I believe I noticed. I think one or two of them's got guard.
They have, yes, two. Catcher's got guard and Alarman's got guard, so he's
he's got and the bear because he's got a bear as well, so that's got guard.
Yeah. So
I think the bear might help, but not by much because the Wood Elves have got the tree, and the tree's just gonna pound that piece all day long.
Yeah, he absolutely is. God, that doesn't look good. I mean, 1470 TV. If we go and have a look at Demented, and see what his team's like. And there's not that. I mean, the thing is, as well, is there's not that much difference in TV wise either. So it may be able to scrape a wizard together. If you use some of his own cash against Demented, but Demented's got a movement 9 catcher with sprint and got leap and wrestle and dauntless and all the shenanigans. He's got an agility 5 catcher as well. So they're both agility 5. Sorry. He's got a tackle, strip ball, war dancer. He's got his famous tree, the foul-mouthed tongue. And he's got kicker. For the TV value, it's pretty decent. Obviously, I've just realised he'll have to add an extra 70k on that because he's only got 10 players. So that'll help the Kislev. But I never like going against Demented. But what do you think? Do you think the Kislev can do it?
I can see the Kislev doing it, especially since the inducements they get, so they can probably induce a wizard.
Yep.
I would imagine.
Yep.
But I just think the problem I think is just the Kislev only got one blitzer with dive and tackle, and I think, and then of course the bear with the tail, and those are going to be important pieces you need to do in order to mark up the elves.
Yep. Yeah.
Because you're not gonna you got to try and play a bit of the bash with the Kislev, but I'm not seeing a lot of great bashy skills coming from them. So I think it's going to be a struggle, but I think overall it's going to be a difficult matchup for both sides.
Yeah, I think the two things why I look at it is one, it's Demented, and two, he's got two guys who can leap into the cage as well, so he can do whatever the Kislevs do. I think again, Demented will be too strong for him. Don't be surprised to see 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 7-1, 8-1, 9-1, 10-1, whatever you want. I think Demented's got this done. I think the only way Demented lose this is if he rolls a bucket of ones or Kislev get the rolls they need. If Kislev get all the rolls, then they may do it. But I think it's so hard to beat Demented. It really is. He plays elves so well. I mean, I suppose obviously if he fires a fireball, takes 3-4 players out, it's good. He needs to take out somehow. He needs to take the two catchers out, and he also needs to try and take out the war dancers. So it's a lot for him to do. With very little skills to do it with, so I think Demented cruises through to the next round, to be honest. And there we go. Yeah. So at the moment, we've agreed on everything, Ted. We've agreed on every single one. Now, this one could be an interesting one. It's a 2-time champion, Tulsa, and obviously Arzawain, Chaos Dwarfs against Elven Union. But this Elven Union is a coach I've never heard of before, and he is undefeated. So, that is interesting, shall we say. But let's have a look at Arzawain first. And, let's see what... Oh. Why is it not showing me the coaches when I'm trying to do it so it just shows me if I type it in, but it's not having it, so I'll stop doing that. Yeah. But here we go. Tulsa then. So Arzawain, 2-time champion, one of the most successful coaches... he's the most successful coach on the PS4 Blood Bowl, won it twice, and is now trying Chorfs. What do you think of this team?
It's got a good amount of guard. Probably a bit more development on the Chorfs, maybe a couple more mighty blow. But Arzawain's a good coach. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. He's got at least one claw piece, which isn't too bad, and then he's got the bull centaur, which I'm hoping is the main ball carrier. But if not, he's got the backup hobgoblin. As well.
Yeah, he's got two, and he's got two options. So, it's good to have two because obviously, if you're just relying on your Hobgoblin like I am on the Xbox, if he goes down, you're in trouble. So I like that. They nicely developed the two Bull Centers, what I think you do need. Both got break tackle, 4 guard pieces, 2 mighty blow, claw. Although claw won't make much of a deal against Elven Union, but it's a nice build. And the thing is, he's got a few guards who can level up.
Yeah.
So there's that as well. And thank you, Gimlick, for letting me know that. That's probably why I can't find them. But yeah, I mean, so there's Tulsa and there's obviously Aswin. I think the two-time champion's got a chance. Now, usually I would say this poor Elven team is in a world of trouble. The problem is, I don't know where this guy's come from. I really don't. It's like it's just come from nowhere, and he's got 150 in the bank, so that's good. So he can get a wizard if he wants. And the thing is, his record is this: played 11, won 11. So that's impressive. So you think, oh, well, who's he beat? Well, he's beaten some decent players. He's beaten the human team 3-1. He's beaten Mutt's Underworld 2-0. So he's beaten some good coaches there. He beat Cinemouse's Violwood Tappers 4-1. That's impressive. So, this guy obviously
he beat the Skaven team 3-2 as well.
Where's that one? 3-2.
It's on the second page.
Oh yeah, so even beat Projeckies. So that I was looking at his team, I was like, I don't know this guy, but this guy could be one of those dark horses. So when he was drawn against the two-time champion Aswin, I thought, oh, what a bad draw. That's the sort of draw I usually get. He's going to be able to get a wizard if he wants one, or he can get himself, I don't know, a cheap star player, or I don't know, whatever else he wants. He's got some decent pieces there. He's got diving tackle. He's got some tackle. He's got nothing what can really hurt Aswin, and that's the problem. Who do you think wins this game? Two-time champion or the dark horse, the guy who nobody knows?
I think it's the two-time champion. Chaos Dwarves are just going to pound these elves into dust and just break their armor.
Yep.
I mean, he does have a nice amount of wrestle, so that's something you got to be aware of, especially if you're dwarves, since you are quite slow. But I just think that overall the Chaos Dwarves should have the advantage, and I give it to Arzawane as well. Just the most successful coach I can see him.
Yeah. I agree.
The Elven Union team.
Yeah. And what score would you think we'd get here?
Probably a 2-0 victory for the Chaos Dwarves.
Okay. Right, okay. Well, I'm going to go against you. I'm back in the shock of the round. I'm going to go with the Elven Union. There's something about this guy. His record is fantastic. I think this guy is probably a guy come from the PC, and he's probably one of these big names, and we don't know who he really is because he's got a different gamer tag. And to go 11-0 late in the season against some of the best, he's beaten some really good coaches who are in the playoffs, and he's beaten them really well. And then he's beaten Cinemouse's Wood Elves 4-1 as well. My concern is, how many players is he going to have? Because obviously he's going to get a whooping. But I think this guy's very clever, and as long as the dice aren't cruel, I think this guy's probably going to give Aswin one hit a turn or something like that. I've just got a sneaking suspicion this guy, he's going to get it done. I think it could be something like 2-1. I think he'll win 2-1. I think he's going to arrive on the big stage by knocking out the two-time champion. Yes, I know everyone will expect Aswin to go through, and I know why. And, the form would say go for Aswin, but he's undefeated. He obviously, he obviously knows what he's doing, and he's got plenty of wrestle, so he can drag pieces down when they're trying to hit him, open up the gaps. He's got a leaper with wrestle and tackle. And he's got some inducements. What he's going to get with that, I don't know. He may even go for that 200k piece where he can go into to the cage and Eldril Soundwinder. Yeah, and to go for that instead. Or he could go for Wizard. If he goes for Wizard, blast the cage, ball goes loose, leap in, get it, throw it out, touchdown, boom, score in your drive. That's 2 touchdowns. I can't see the Chaos Dwarf scoring 2 touchdowns unless there's a lot of removals. So I am going to say Silver Harlequins shock the two-time champion Aswin and go through to the next round. So there we go, and then we've got Ratastical Kinder, that is Mutt Underworld versus Skink 2020. Now Skink 2020, we actually found him. We found out that he actually it's Anania who plays on the PC, and he's doing very well. So it's funny this because we've got the Xbox coach Mutt versus the PC coach of Anania on the PS4. So it should be good. Now I know you've got a soft spot. Your favourite race is Underworld, isn't it? So we'll have a look at them and tell me what you like about this team.
Just give me 1 second while I actually find the team.
Third page, middle, bottom.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Oh, Mutt's playing Underworld. I thought he was playing Rats.
No, not this time.
Well, he's got a killie piece in the Blitzer, and then he's got the claw and the tentacles.
Yep.
On the troll, which I'm not a big fan of having both those skills early on. I think you need a couple of this, maybe a strength skill early, like guard, for example.
Right. Okay.
Before getting mutations. I know mutations is fun and they're great. I just think maybe just don't forget about the strength skills because they are still important.
Yeah.
It's got a movement 9 blodge thrower, which is I think a bit too much. You don't really expect to do crazy plays. I mean, you can one turn anyway with the troll and goblin throw, and he's even got a decent goblin in the form of Tactile, which is the agility 4.
Yep.
Lineman though could need a bit of development, and he's got a healthy amount of goblins on the sideline.
Yep.
So it's a good, decent team.
Yeah. I really do. I mean, I know you don't like it, but I do like the movement down on the thrower because I think he'll just try and run the ball. I think that's what he'll do. He'll try and run the ball with the thrower. It also gives him a good potential chance of doing a one-turn. He's got blodge. I really like it. I also like, obviously, the Goblin Agility 4. So he's going through any tackle zone on a 2+. You've got to love that. And again, I mean, he's got a bench, so he's got 14 players. He's left 2 pieces because he's obviously thinking he'll be able to induce some players. I tell you what was really surprising, and I'm a bit disappointed, so no surprise there, is when I looked at the club and I saw Astro Granite playing surface, and he's got goblins, and he's got rats, and he's on the armor 7, and he's got a +1. I don't get that. I would have been almost certain he would have gone for the Nuffle Altar because obviously you can get some nice, cheap star players. So I don't get it.
Chain for 50k.
Yep, and you can even if you loan cash, you get Bomb or Dribble Snot for 10k, and he is at home as well.
It's only like a slight difference.
So
as well.
You know, so I'm surprised because I think it was me personally. If I'm playing goblins or halflings or obviously Underworld, then I'm definitely taking a Nuffle Altar every day of the week and just praying I'm drawing at home what he is. So I like this team. He's got killers.
Well,
I must admit that Rabbit Punch, that guy's usually a killer, so he must have lost him. So he's done obviously someone's done someone a favour. But I like the team. I think it's really good. Do the scale thrower, 2 heads, block, tackle, kick. Yeah, I like it. I like this team. I like Mutt as a coach. He's a great player. He got to the semi-final last season, and maybe he's the guy we need to take the legendary teams that step further. Because last season, all the legendary teams were a car crash, and there was one thing.
Get to round 2.
Round 2, yeah. He beat a halfling team. Yeah.
Yeah, still got through though.
Yeah, but it's not what I expected. I always say, I think we could get a team going to the semi-finals. Because, let's be honest here, we had Sergal. I love Sergal. He was the Ogres. We had Gasselmal. So these are champions. Gasselmal. He was the Underworld. And I was stunned when he went out. I was absolutely... If my jaw could drop, it would have done. We had Shagrath. Now I can never forgive Shagrath because he could have gone all the bloody way, and he was bloody drunk, and he bloody lost. So he had a good chance.
He potatoed it.
Oh, he potatoed it, bloodlusted, and decided, sod it, dropped the ball on the floor and went off the pitch. But I love Shagrath. He's a good lad. But I think maybe this time, maybe it's up to Mutt. Maybe it's up to Mutt to carry the can. And say, look, Bernie, I'm going to please you. I'm going to take this team to the final. Watch this go. And I wouldn't put it against him. I really wouldn't. He's built this team nice. I would be quite confident going in with this team. I'll be honest. I'd have a lot of fun with this team. So I think they'll do really, really well. Now the other team is obviously, this is Skink, so we've got Xbox versus PC coaches here, so this will be fun. Now I remember
it's the other Lizard team, isn't it?
Yeah. What page is that? Here we go. Let's go and have a look. Here it is. Page
third
3.
Page.
Yeah, two across, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got Bezo in the chat. Buffon. Yes, thank you, Bezo. And he loves his lizard, so he'll be cheering on their Skink 2020. Again, another great record. For what he did, 18 wins, 5 draws, 2 losses. Obviously, his enhancement will not come into effect, saying that he doesn't have one. He's a cheapskate. I looked at this team and I was like, it's alright, it's not great. I suppose the sidestepping movement down Skink's good. I like his block and his guard, but it's probably not the team you'd have needed it for. And obviously, you don't know because you don't know who you're going to draw against.
Yeah. He's got the Mighty Blow though, so that could help against the Goblins.
Yeah,
or just all the AV7 piece.
Yeah, that'll help. Who do you think wins this one?
I think the Underworld win this one. Just the Underworld can just not bother about the Saws. They can just leave them alone.
Yep.
They can bully the Skinks a little bit.
Yep.
And the Cruxigor's not going to be much. And that Cruxigor with that movement down makes him closer to the Troll, and the Troll can have a better advantage because he's got Claw.
Yep. I think this is. I agree with you. I think this is a really good matchup for the Underworld, and I don't want to go against Anania because he's a very good player. I know he's called a Bunnan, but he's gamer tagging. The one we know him as on Twitch streams is Anania. I would never write him off. But I think everything stacks in the Underworld's favour. They've got the numbers, they've built a foul, they've got 2 claw pieces. It's more. I
can both one turn.
Yeah, but you gotta go. You gotta go with more. I think I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, this guy, he's the lowest TV, is he? 1440 players. Yeah. So the thing for obviously the Lizards is they will get inducements. Now people say, yeah, we'll go Slibley because Slibley's great, but I don't know how much good Slibley will do in this team because he doesn't need the guard, he doesn't need the block, he certainly doesn't need stand firm. You may go for that other one. What's that guy with the stabby knives? I always forget his name. He's really cool. Blodge, sidestepper, dagger dude.
I was going to mention he only has a 10 players, so he's going to get an extra Skink, so that's less inducements.
Yeah, he'll still be able to get that guy though, I think.
It's like 150. You can either get that guy or you can get a wizard, and then you have to make a choice.
Yeah, but he's gonna. What is it? It's like so. He's 1440, so 1500, and then he's got 130 from up. Yeah, and then he's got 140, so he's got 270 to spend, hasn't he? So it's. I don't know. I think he needs numbers. I wouldn't be looking at the wizard. I'd be looking for numbers. I would probably go with that really cool stabby dude because he's awesome and he's against low armor. And then I would probably get 2 babes or a mech or something.
It's 1500 to 1630, so it's 130 in inducements.
Plus 140 in the bank, 270. He's got 140 in the bank.
Oh yeah.
I always had them together.
You could use that.
I always had them together because he's more than likely going to. So that's 270.
I just always ignore it.
Yeah, no, I always think that most of the underdogs will always use the cash. But what I'm saying, he's got the potential to have 270. He doesn't have to use it, but he does have 270. And the way I look at it is I'd get the stabby dude, and then I'd probably look at either 2 babes or I'd be looking at another mech. But I think the Underworld do it. I think this is going to be a close game. There's something like 2-1, 3-2 in overtime, maybe something crazy like that. I think the Lizard team are going to be low numbers by the end of it. And that's why
Hemlock is the stabby dude's name.
Yep, there you go. Hemlock, I love Hemlock. He's awesome. So we both agree with that one. Team Rocket versus Psychological Beasts. Now I'm a big fan of TGV Major. Apart from he's another of those UC Mafia guys who need to be taken down. My Chaos team actually beat this guy in a really tough 2-1 encounter, but he's got some good pieces. A movement 10 gut runner, what needs to be killed. 2 strength 3 gut runners. I think he had 3 strength 3 gut runners, but he lost one. And well, he's got some wrestle. But I just like this coach. I'm a big fan of his, I must admit. 20 wins, 3 draws, 6 losses. I'm amazed he's actually lost 6 games. He doesn't come across as a coach who should lose that many. He did get beat 2-0 by Gimlick. But Krusty Critters, he lost to the Underworld 2-1 last game. Oh, he conceded against who did a Gimlick. Oh, well, that's always a bit concerning when people start conceding. But, yeah, I don't really know what else to say about this guy. He's a good coach, and he's got a one-tear. He's got some decent players, and I think he'll go quite well. I don't know if you want to say anything else about this guy.
I'm just looking at his record. He beat someone 7-0.
Crikey. They must have not been up the screen.
He beat 2 people 7-0.
Oh, wow, that's a lot. But but again, when you got a one-turn, you can soon bang them up, and especially if the other guy wasn't playing or whatever. You just never know, do you? But Team Rocket look pretty decent. Let's go to Psychological Beasts, whatever they are. Are they ogres?
I think they're ogres. Nuclear fanatic.
So basically, this is this is a good as matchup as TGV would have wanted. But I think they've played 2-1-2 and there's both concedes, was they? Yes. So he's got 2 wins, but the opponent conceded both times to him. These are the sort of teams we want to, no offence to the coach, but these are the teams we want to get rid of. 2-0, it's just a waste of time. I mean, there's not really much we can say. One guy's got leader, one guy's got sure feet, and he's only got 1 reroll. So
it makes it 2.
Yeah. So that's it.
He does have 6 ogres, so that's a lot of mighty blow on the team. So the rats they still got to be cautious.
Yeah, they've got to be cautious. I tell you what, I would be tempted to just spend all my cash on a halfling master chef because I need the rerolls. And if you can take the rerolls off the rats, that's probably the best thing to do. And then if you've got enough cash, get some snotlings or something and just keep fouling him. I think that's what I'd be doing.
I'm trying to think of that ogre star player.
The one with break tackle.
No, not Bertha. There is a.
Oh, the one with the one with who throws the goblin, Brickfarth.
No, that's it. Scrapper. If you just hire Scrapper, he's a decent ball carrier at least.
Is that the goblin?
That's like the goblin with like
with a pogo stick.
Leap. Yeah, with like
stick.
dodge, dirty play, leap, sprint, sure feet.
Yeah, he's going to need a miracle.
Yeah, so you can use that as a decent ball carrier. I was trying to think of his name for the ogre team. But...
Yeah, Scrapper Sawhead.
Scrapper Sawhead.
Yep. So who wins this game, dare I ask?
I think the Skaven win this 4-0.
I think
I'm not going to be too mean. I'm not going to be too mean to say it's going to be like 8-0 or something. I can see the Skaven scoring a lot.
Well, they say it comes in threes. 7-0, 7-0. Could this be 7-0? Possibly. I don't think it'll be that. I don't think it'll be that bad. But I could see something like 3-0, 4-0, like you said. The key thing is though, nuclear fusion could do everybody favour because he certainly has the potential with all that ogre power to injure some players, stamp on them with every chance he can with the snotlings. So if I'm the coach of the Skaven, I'm thinking, you know what? I love this. I should win this, but at the same time, I'm scared that he could really wreck my chances further down the line. So, like you said, it's got to be careful. Don't put your gut runners in a place where they're going to get stamped and fouled and everything, I think. So, but I'm with you. I think it should be a comfortable win. The only worry for Team Rocket, basically, is what will he lose? Now then, we come to the other case. We've seen one case already coming to fruition when the champ got knocked out. The other case is obviously the top seed, and Los Natos is the top seed, and look what he got. He got to draw the second seed, Mint and Work. Another one of those UC Mafia. So let's have a look at the dwarfs first. Dave's dwarfs.
I've just noticed both these teams only need a reroll. Got a level up, sorry. They're waiting to level up their players.
Oh, right. Yeah. So... But yeah, Mint and Work. I mean, Dave doesn't lose many games usually. I've noticed in his teams. And look at this: 16 wins, 10 draws, no losses, and you finish top. You want a good draw, and you run into this. Yeah, that's why we don't want to finish top, because this is awful. This is an awful matchup for the Orcs. People disagree, but look at it. He's got two frenzy troll slayers. One of them's strength 4, what's beautiful. Both piling on. One's got tackle. Both got mighty blow. He's got 3 stand firm pieces. He's then got another strength 4 longbeard. He's got a kick off return, fend, blodge, Hail Mary runner. He's got how many guards he got? 3, 5, 7 guards. Oh my god, you can see why this team doesn't lose many. 3 rerolls, 1 apothecary, a coach assistant, a cheerleader. Wow, this team means business, and it is coached by very, very good coach as well, and he knows how to coach dwarfs. I think the first time he was ever in the playoffs, he got quite far with dwarfs. So
the best offense is a good defense, and I'm guessing that is the plan with this dwarven team.
Yep, and the good thing as well is if this team got through and the Skaven team got through, that'd be an absolute amazing matchup. The speed of the rats versus the solid defense of the dwarfs. But it's not going to be easy. He's against the top seed, but he's undefeated, and he's played a lot of games. He's played a lot of games, and he's still there. I'm just going to see what he's got as his inducement base stand. So
it's
plus
the
1
base stand.
Yeah, so he's obviously going to try and frenzy with his troll slayers. That's an impressive record. There's no two ways about it. The only concern is who's he beat. I'll be honest, not many of them come to mind as top players. He beat Apples 1-0, so that's the Skaven team there. Drew with Alcohol Hooligans. Yeah. That is. I'll tell you what, and this is no disrespect to the other coaches, he hasn't really beat much. Where, when we looked at the Elven Union team and we saw them big teams he'd beat, I don't see many of the big names here. I think, he's been very lucky, really, with what he's gone against. I mean, Ogres, 916 Skaven. I don't even know who that is. Funny Hats 2-0. He's not a bad coach. Sinner Mouse, decent coach. Couldn't even beat him 1-1. And you would have thought that would have really helped the Dwarfs. I don't know.
He drew 2-2 against Apples.
Yeah, and he beat him 1-0 and drew 2-2. I know the coach is good. There's no doubt that the coach is good. The other thing we need to point out here is he's got 290k in the bank. So that is inflated his TV by 140k. So I don't know what they're going to do. I think it's a UC tactic. A few of the UC guys have done the same thing. I don't know. I really don't know.
Maybe save it for a level 4. Level 4 stadium.
That would be just silly. If he does. But I know people to try and do that. Now, let's have a look at the top seed. And they're 1850. They've got 220k as well, though. So that is 70k above the thingy. And is he a Frenchman, Spaniard? I can't remember. I wonder if he's a part of the UC.
I think he's a Spaniard.
Yeah, so he's probably a UC off here. And then we'll look at this team, and he's got 8 guard. I like that because obviously I think guard you should have on Orcs. That's their main strength. He's got a strength for Lineman. Yeah. He's got 4. He's got 4 mighty blow. Yeah. I'm not as impressed with this team than I am with the dwarfs. I'll be honest. I think the dwarfs give you more bang for your buck. And the thing is, if he was to spend that cash beforehand, it still get some inducements against Lost Nats as well. So Flintsaw's a great coach. So they're both good coaches, but I don't know. I'm just not digging this roster. It's a good roster against a lot of teams. I would be like, oh wow, this is great. But against Dave's roster, and with the curse of the top seed, I don't know. Who do you think will win? Do you think the Orcs can get this done, or are you going to go with the Dwarfs?
It's one of those tough matches, like we called with the Undead and the Norse team the other day. Yep. And I feel the same in this one. But if I had to pick one team, I'll probably have to give it to Flint Sorrow, the Orc team. Yep. Just they have. I think that they both have an equal amount of guard, but the extra strength coming in from the Black Orcs, I think, will help them a bit more against the dwarves, because all the dwarves are like strength 3. And they do have the Dauntless, but you still have to roll for Dauntless, and if that fails, you're not really in a good time.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Decent, and his blitzers as well all got tackle, so they can get that runner if he's got to try and cage in. So I just think the Flint Soul's got what the tools need to beat Dave, personally.
It's a close one. They're both extremely good coaches. I look at I mean, I'm basically going on two things. One, the case, and two, when I looked at both these rosters, the other one just stood out a lot better. I don't know why. I don't know why it is. I mean, like you said, he's got 4 guard pieces, 4 Black Oaks, so it's going to be really hard to get 2 dice against these. So technically, you're probably right. You know, the Oaks should win it, but for some reason, I'm going to go with the Dwarfs. I think the top seed Case strikes again, and I can see it's going to be close. I think it's going to be either 1-0, 2-1 to the Dwarfs. You're going?
I'll probably focus more on just the 1-0 victory for the Orcs.
Yeah.
I just think that the strength from both sides will slow each other down immensely because they're not really fast either.
Yeah.
Neither of the teams are. So I just think it's got to be a 1-0 grind victory to the Orcs. But the same could be said for the Dwarves, but I'm just going to go with the Orcs. Yeah. I believe curses can be broken.
They can, and you know someone has to do it. Next game's a good one. When I saw these two coaches teamed up against each other, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be great." Gedley versus Sergal. This is going to be good. Gedley's very good with his Dark Elves. Obviously, Sergal, an ex-champion, and knows as well in the playoffs, or usually does well in the playoffs. I'm looking at the Dark Elves first. He's got a nice agility 5 leaper, what's always useful. Although he hasn't got any like skills to get the ball loose. He does have a Witch Elf with wrestle, tackle, and strip ball, so that's a nice piece. He's got his dump off leader piece. Like I say, there's some decent pieces there. It's not a Stuntman DD Blitzkrieger team from last season, but it's still solid and in a very good coach. I mean, you know, he's regarded as one of the best coaches in the MML, especially with Dark Elves. And Sergal's got a game on for definite. Anything what stands out to you on this team?
When you look at his statistics, he's won 15 games and lost 3. And when you look at his recent games, last game he won 5-0, he beat Mutt's team twice, 3-1 and then 2-1.
Yep.
And then he lost to Apples 3-0, but other than that, it's a very solid team, and he's done a very good job in playing the Dark Elf game. Yeah.
Yeah, like I say, usually when he loses, if the opponent's removed a lot of his players, what can happen to anybody? But it's a solid team. Like I say, the Witch Elf's nice. I'd have liked that Witch Elf to have had Leap. Then I would have been like really loving that. So like I say, he's got a decent team. Now Sergal's gone back to his Bretonnians. I remembered when he played against Fox, and he'd rallied and was doing really well, and then the Dark Elves got an extra turn and they ended up knocking him out 2-1 just before overtime. What was a cruel way to go out. And Gail, as I said, that's a lot of death, yeah. So, like I said, we've already said this, but because he's in the chat, we'll say it again. Yeah, Gedley's regarded as one of the best, if not the best, in the MML, and he's obviously very good with Dark Elves. But he's against a guy who is extremely good. You know, Sergal. People always take the fun out of me because I'm a big fan of Sergal, and you know, I just like him. People think I'm deranged when I say I regard him as a top coach. Some people say he's a lucky coach. Some people say he's not as good as you say. Well, I don't know. I just like the guy. What do you think about this team? I mean, he's obviously going to get a little bit of inducement, so that'll help. Maybe he might have enough for a Wizard if he wants it. But with this being Sergal, he usually goes completely different. So don't be surprised if you see 2 babes instead. What do you think about this team? How do you think this team stacks up against Gedley's Dark Elves?
I think Sergal's a good coach, and like we mentioned from time to time, he does not like AV7. You can see he's got a lineman with AV8, which is, I think, is just completely unnecessary.
I know. He loves it, doesn't he? That's the thing he does. He never seems to turn down armor, ever. You know, he's just got to have it. I don't know. I mean, he's a peasant. You've given him armor. Well, hey, you know what? It is what it is, I guess. Like I said, he's got his 3 team rerolls. He's got an apothecary. What's he got blocker wise? He's got his 4 blitzers.
Yeah, and 2 linemen.
In 3 blockers, hasn't he? So he's not even got 4 blockers. That's a bit. I don't know. It's Sergel. I mean, we say this every season about him, don't we? We say this every season about Sergel. Where we're like, come on, Sergel, this is an average team, but he seems to always do well. The problem with Sergel is, I tell you, the problem with Sergel is he's so overconfident, and it gets him in trouble sometimes. He doesn't believe he will fail. And then when he does, he leaves the door open for his opponent to get it done. He absolutely threw away the game against Dave last season with his ogres. I was pretty disgusted with Sergel with that because I rate him highly, and I was like, you are really risking it. He basically dared, the humans, I think it was, to blitz him, and they did. They took him out. The ball went out of the pitch, and that was it. Oh God, who wins this one? This is a tough one. Tell me, Ted, who wins this one?
I think the Dark Elves win it. I just don't. I look at Sergel's team, and I think it comes back to when you said it looks average. I just don't think it's got the tools to deal with the Dark Elf presence and the pressure. And I think it's not going to be one of those long scoring games. It's going to be one of those slow games where it's just going to be who's going to grind the other one down first. But I can definitely see this game going into overtime, either 2-1 or 1-0 to Gerd.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I know it's a tough one. I mean, the guys. I mean, Sergel's gonna, with his bank, he'll have 230k to spend, whatever he wants to spend that on. I really hate deciding between these two. I really do. Oh God!
I just think the Dark Elves have the better tools to deal with the defense as opposed to the Bretonians having to deal with the Dark Elf offense.
I just, it depends. There's nothing really on the Dark Elf team what scares me regarding trying to get the ball loose apart from the Witch Elf. But if he gets it caged, yeah, it is a 50-50 to get in. Gadley's saying Sergel will dice him.
Yeah. Well, the dice could always be a thing.
All I would say to Gadley is welcome to my world. I seem to get it every season. I'm gonna have to go with Sergel. I'm gonna have to go with him because it's very rare he ever goes out first round. I always fall into this trap where we expect his opponent to win because they've got a better team, and he always proves us wrong. I hate going against Gadley. I really do. You go with Gadley. If I go with Sergel, one of us will get it right. And Gadley already is concerned that Sergel might dice him, so that's never a good thing. It's one of those games where whoever wins, you wouldn't be surprised. If Sergel can get a bit of the look of the bounce and get a few of these off the pitch, he'll do well. It just depends to me is what he does with the inducements. I think this is going to be 2-1. But don't be surprised to see a 1-0. It depends how cagey the player. It is a playoff game, and they both respect each other because they're both top-class coaches. But yeah, I'm sure Gadley will be extremely happy that I'm going to tip Sergel. So I'll go Sergel. You go with Gadley, and one of us will get it right.
Yeah.
Hopefully. There we go. And Gimlick smack talking Trip. Trip says he's going to win them all, and they said, "Oh, wait." And Gimlick said, "Next season, Trip." So a bit of banter going on in there.
He jumped the gun.
He did. It's a curse. That's it. I told you. The next game then is Mess Turret versus the Goblins, Green Goblin Machines. I know Monkey Attack Wolf's so absolutely delighted he's made it. And he's against a human team, so it's not the worst draw for Goblins. But I'm going to have a look at the humans first. What do you think of this team, Ted?
Well, first off, I would still be annoyed because human catchers are cheating.
Why?
For the Goblins. Because they're supposed to be AV7, not AV8.
Are they rechanged, have they, in the new rules? Did they lose the armor again?
No, they're always supposed to be AV7. It's only in Blood Bowl 2 that they put them to AV8.
I thought they changed it. I actually thought it was a change, and then they've put it back. Oh, well, there you go then.
No, it's always been AV7, but for Blood Bowl 2, they've done a few changes, but the big one's just the human catchers are AV8, which is going to be a bit frustrating for the Goblins.
Yeah, but to me, to be honest though, I always think human catchers should be strength 3. How can you have skinny elves being strength 3, and big, strong humans strength 2? So I think he should giving him armor 8. I like it. I applaud it because I think it makes him a lot more useful. So
It
yeah.
bothers me though. It just bothers me.
Oh, he will. Gimlick, there's a few games being played, mate. That's why I've decided to do this now because there's no way I could get a game in. There's about 3 games kicking off at the same time. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is a good team. You'd expect him to beat the Goblins, dare I say. 1660.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Tor 3005. I think I've played him before. But it's
I've
not
played
the
him a couple of times,
it's not the
and I've
greatest
seen him
record.
play.
11 wins, 3 draws,
No.
5 losses. What sort of coach is he? Is he a decent coach? An average coach? Very good coach?
He plays quite decently, but it's very like standard. Like it's like he's like reading a rule book and then performing what he should do. In a sense, like it doesn't seem like he's doing it himself. It seems like it's just what his general, like what you should generally do. In a sense.
Yeah. I mean, Gimli, that'd be probably the one I'd be probably streaming. Mutt vs Anana, but we've almost finished these ones now anyway. So who wins this one? Oh no, we haven't even looked at. Oh my god, Monkey Attack Wolf would have shot me if I didn't have a look at the goblins. Dear me, we'll blame Gimli. We'll blame Gimli for that. There we go then. So let's have a look at the Green Gobbo machine. So he's definitely going to get inducements. Now he's been talking to me about inducements, what he's going to get. I'm not going to say obviously on here, but I will be messaging him saying if you want 2-star plays, you better drop a goblin. Again, it's got nothing really there.
Yeah, well, except for the two trolls, but other than that.
Yeah, one's got block, what's nice, and the other's got multiple block, what's not too bad. Fanatic Chainsaw, he's going to be kicking, fouling, stomping, praying his trolls do well. I'm not, again, AV10, not a big fan of that. I presume it was obviously movement or armor. I would have probably looked at maybe another skill stand there, might have been pretty good there. He's big
what
pieces.
Is it with people going with armor? A lot of people are just going armor ups.
I don't know. We must have missed something there, haven't we? So I don't know. But he's gonna have to come big. He's got a lot of inducement. I know what he said he's going to take, but if he does, he's probably going to have to drop a goblin. Who wins it? Does the inducements help the goblins? Do goblins have a going day and beat, obviously, the humans?
I think if Tor just plays quite defensively, just keep an eye on the chainsaws and not mess about too much for the ogres, I just don't see the goblins doing too much damage against the human team. So I'd give it to the humans. Possibly a 2-1 victory. I can definitely see it going to overtime.
Yeah, I must admit, when I was looking at the teams and what people said about Torre being a good, solid coach, he could take his time. And I think this game is going to be a lot closer than we expect. And I'm pretty impressed. I can't remember. One coach told me, he said, watch out for the Goblin coach. He's a class act. He's really, really good. Do you know what? I'm going to tip the Goblins because I tipped Goblins last year, so it's about time the Goblins got me out of the mire. I'll go Goblins. I'm going to say everything works. His Trolls smash them. His Chainsaw does well. His Fanatics goes wild. And he fouls them to death. So I'm going to go with the Goblins to beat them. So there we go. Now, the next one's an interesting one. The Great White Shark versus Blind Crusaders. Two best friends against each other. So let's go and have a look at the cuddly, misunderstood the Great White Sharks. I will let you talk about these.
Great White Sharks. Well, he's going to kill me because I can't find them. Oh, there they are. Great White Sharks IK's team, coached by Birdie Buffon. He's got a nice record of 20 wins, 11 draws, and 5 losses, which is a lot of games to play. I believe it's the highest TV.
It is the highest TV. What I will say is 2 of them losses was blue screens, by the way. 2 of them losses, so I'm a bit bitter about that. So who's mentioned people to that? Because both of them I would have won. So a bit salty, but hey, keep going.
Yeah. He's got some claw pieces around. He's got a nice, good ball handling beastman with AG4 and Blodge. So he's got the skills to be a great ball handler, and he's got a decent amount of guard. And I think 3 of the Chaos Warriors, and a couple of the beastmen as well. He's got nice 13 players, and it's got the right and pitch invasion kickoff event cancelled, the security gate as the enhancement. It's got a nice amount of rerolls, and he's got the extra cheerleader and coach assistant. It's a nice solid team for Chaos, and they've got the abundance of skills they need to do what they can, but it has to depend on how well Burnley does, because Burnley does get good teams, especially with Chaos, but he just always gets diced or fumbles it near the end. So we just have to wait and see how it goes for him, but it's a very good team.
Yeah, I must admit, this is the first season I can honestly say I've been happy with my team. I stopped playing them very early. Some people agreed with that, some people didn't. Obviously, the Agility 4, Strength 4 Case Warrior, that seems to be the talking point. Some people love it, some people hate it. I've decided not to go with piling on because, one, I wanted to keep him on the feet, and two, I wanted to see how it would do with the new rule change, obviously, on the board game. I've scrambled 5 guard pieces. This team's built for balance because I just don't know what I'm coming up against. So the highest TV though was very unusual for me. I don't usually have the highest TV, so a bit of pressure for me there. 2010, and
You're technically the overdogs.
Yeah. I think they're undefeated in the last. If you take the blue screen out, I think they're undefeated in the last 20 odd games. So they've been in good form.
Bad.
They've been in good form. I'm as confident as I can be. I'm against a very good coach who got to the final last season. But you know, if I can't be confident with this team, then I might as well just give in. Is what I'm going to say. Oh, Apples were 21-30, so Apples were the top seed, and that worked out well for them. Great, thanks, Kim. That's really give me confidence. Yeah. So let's have a look at Stumandidi and look at the name of his best player, King Bernie. Oh no. Come on then, Trip. Come on then, Teddy. Tell me what you think of this team. Do they match up well against the Chaos?
Well, he's got 15 players, so if you're going to try and remove them, it's going to be more difficult. And he's got 2 dirty players, so he's going to try and play a bit of the sneaky. Oh, if you're going to play with Claw, fine. I'll play with Fouls and see how it goes.
Yeah, and he likes
4 rerolls as well.
Yeah, he does.
Well, rightfully so. Peasants are good founders.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't. He fouls with Dark Elves, so he's definitely going to foul with Peasants. I mean, I do outguard him, so that's good.
Yeah, the blockers are a bit underdeveloped. I mean, strength from Mighty Blow. He's only got 1 Mighty Blow piece on the team.
Yep.
And then the blitzers, I would say, are just quite standard, really.
Yep.
Dodge, tackle, and then King Bernie, of course, is a great piece.
Yeah.
For the team.
I just think he's killing.
Yeah, I generally just think this team's just average, like an average Brett team, with just more emphasis on getting extra players in case of kill teams.
Yep.
Or just very bashy teams. So I think and Stuntman really likes his rerolls and for rerolls with Brett's, which rerolls are expensive for them. But
yeah.
I think it's just an average team with abundance of players to help mitigate the averageness, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean he's got to be looking to foul almost every time because he's got 2 day players in there, and I don't blame him. My 3 tackle pieces will come in handy. I outguard him, I outbash him. So I'm as confident. I'm as confident as I can be. He's got enough cash in the bank to get Griff if he wants, or he can get a Wizard, what could be huge for him if he wants to go down that route. Like I said, if this wasn't Stuntman DD coaching them, I'd be extremely confident because it's Stuntman. You just never know. We've had some good scraps over the years. Who's going to win it, Ted?
I can see it going 2-1 to the Great White Sharks, but I do also can see it going into overtime as well.
Well, most of my games do, so that you know. I don't know what score this will be. I think it'll be a close game. I'm just praying that my chaos come to it. And if he does get a Wizard, I hope he fails. If Griff does turn up, though, he's going down like a bad habit. I'll tell you that now. So, Anania, I don't know, but Mutt is usually very, very good at keeping time. Keep me updated, because in about 5-10 minutes, if you haven't heard from him, I will try and get hold of him for you. I'm just going to finish this first. So yeah, I'm going to tip the Great White Sharks because it's me. You've got to tip yourself. So yeah, I'll say myself. But I think you are right. It's going to be a close game. Now then, we've got 2 games to go, and we can't do the bottom one because we don't know who it is. So basically, this is the last game we can have a look at. So my apologies to Gasamal's Vampires. Nowak, it was a very good dwarf team versus Blue and Yellows, what's Case Dwarfs, and probably the guy who was closest to being more unpopular than Calcium Cass. People have said he's a Calcium Cass wannabe. So we'll think, what you think about that. But let's look at the Dwarfs first. I'm a big fan of Nintendo. I like this coach a lot. And let's see this team. It's got well. You tell me what you think about this. I don't think it's as good as Dave's team myself, but let's see what you think.
Yeah, what was it? The Dwarfs we're talking about, or is it the
the Dwarfs? The Dwarfs. Nowak.
Yeah. Oh, Nowak.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely say, as opposed to the other Dwarf team we looked at, he's a bit more favoured and he's gone a bit more of the stand firm. I've just noticed he's got 3 stand firm. He's got a nice amount of guard as well, but it's only got 3 pieces with mighty play, which is quite a surprise really for Dwarves. I mean, they're normally a team they want to grind down and slowly whittle them away, and he's got 13 players as well, so he's got to have a bench. So I don't know if he's going to try fouling or not.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he did. Ironically, we talked about Calcium Cass earlier. Nintendo did beat Calcium Cass's Thermonuclear Pump 2-0. He also beat Last Trying Dead What's Gimli's crazy team 2-1. So this guy can coach. It's a funny one to me because I think he's the better coach, but I think the Case Dwarfs have the better team. But he's got 1680. I think he'd have liked a bit more cash. He's only got 60k in there. Let's have a look at the big bad boogeyman. The guy who keeps wrecking teams, official Nan, who's this? He had a choice of a few teams he could have tried to get qualified, but he's decided to go with these. They were actually top seed, and he squeaked a game in and lost. So that was sneaky. So he didn't get the top seed curse. Like I say, he's got 2 Mighty Blow, Claw, piling on killers. One's got Jump Up, and then he's got a Mighty Blow piling on other killer. Plenty of guard, 2 Break Tackle, Bull Centaurs. It's a nasty team.
Definitely.
If there is a weakness, and this is just based on me as always, is that he hasn't got a bench.
He does have a bench. He's got 12
does.
players.
Sorry, he does. Yeah, he does. I might forget what I just said, but yeah, this team could just make a mess of the others. If these Mighty Blow and Claw works, it'll be a car crash. He's got 150k in the bank if he wants it. Does he want to use it? He probably won't. I don't think. Because the way the rules are now, if he spends his 150k, he's giving the Dwarfs extra 150k. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at both teams. Who's going to win
I think the weakness is this. Other than those killer pieces on the Dwarfs, there's nothing really all that impressive. I mean, Bull Centaurs are just block break tackle, which it's still good, but it's just not a lot for them. And then the Hobgoblins are just they're all okay, but I wouldn't say they're great.
Yeah,
I think it definitely has the kill potential, and Official does get the roles to kill a lot of teams. But I just think it's just a bit when he starts going against more not more bashy teams, but more like stronger teams such as the Chaos team, for example, or the Orc team. I think you might see a bit more of a struggle there.
Right. But who wins this one?
But I think this one, I think the Claw and the piling on is going to just cause big issues for the Dwarves, and I see the Dwarves losing this 1-0.
Right, okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I really want to say Nowak, because Nintendo in Nowak, because I think, he's got 13 players. So technically he could... Yeah, I'm going to go with Nowak because I think Nintendo's the better coach. I honestly do, and that's nothing disrespect. Yeah. Well, I'm trying not to have a go at Visual now. But the thing is, if the thing with him is when things go wrong, he has this reputation of tilting, and we saw that with Projecki today, where he tilted and just lost the plot. If Nowak and Nintendo, obviously Nintendo Nowak's coach, can Get him tilting or get him making mistakes. He could get it done. He's got 13 players, so he can take 2 claw piece casualties. Plus, he's got a little bit of inducements. He could get himself a death roll, or what would be interesting, to really beef up that middle. Because obviously, that could really help. So I'm going to
fireball the cage or something.
Yeah. So there we go. So there's all the things done. So basically, what is the Triple Ted rating of the round? Where is it going?
I said the Chaos Dwarfs would win it.
No, I'm on about you. Yeah, we know that. But what I'm saying is now, your banker of the round, the Triple Ted, who's getting it? Which game? Which game's your banker?
Which games I definitely think will win?
Yeah, the main one you expect to go through.
The main one I expect to go through is. I mean, we as we said, we've been talking about all these teams, so it's really. I think it's a bit hard to pick just one.
Oh, you got to.
I think I have to give it for Team Rocket to get through against the Psychological Beasts.
Yeah, I mean that's an obvious one. I'm gonna go a bit more riskier because hey, why not? I'm gonna say Demented, the Bloody Elves get it done. He's just too good. So that's my triple B rating goes to the Bloody Elves. Demented will be delighted that I've picked him. And obviously you've given the Triple Ted rating to TGV Major. I'm sure he won't be worried one bit about that. But here is the big one: who makes the final? And then we'll ask you who will win it. So the first page is basically one finalist,
one half, and then the second page is the other.
Yeah. So
for the first half, I think I can see Gimlet getting to the final in this half. Just Undead's a very solid team, and he's got a bunch of strength on his team to help make it a bit more unfair than normal. And I just think the way it's going to line up, I can definitely see him at least try to get to the final or semi-final. But I have faith in him, and I can see him get to the final.
Well, it didn't let you down before, so you're going to go with Gimlick and the Last Undead, okay? And what about the other side? Who's going to make the final on the other side?
When I look on your side, again, it is quite a few I would like to pick. Mm-hmm. Like overall, I've got three teams who I've got put down as who I think will go to the final. I think overall, though, I don't know how bad it is. I'm going to give it to Flint Sorrow, the Orc team.
Ooh, well, that is Nuffle won't like that. He will not like that at all. The top seed making the final. Wow.
I do. When I look at the Orc team, I think it's a really good Orc team, and the way his matchups should plan out, I think he's got a good solid matchups across the board. I mean, of course, you still got to play your best, and you got to worry about getting diced and Nuffle's issues. But I just think I do like this Orc team. I can see him do very well, and I can see this team getting to the final on this side. But again, I did have two other teams down as well on this side, but I went with the Orc team the most.
So the big question then, who wins? Gimlick's Undead or Flint Sorrow's Orcs?
I think I'd give it to the Undead because then they can match the Orcs thanks to that extra strength. They probably won't have as much guard as the Orc team, but I think they'll have enough to make it a good show. And then the Undead extra strength ghouls and zombie skeletons stamping shenanigans to help reduce that AV9 might swing to Gimlick's favour. So I think I can see Gimlick winning it a second time this season.
Right, okay. So, you made your name picking Gimlick to win it. You messed up last season, so you think, you know what, I'm going to go with what works, Gimlick to win it again. And I can't disagree to a certain extent because obviously it is obviously a very good coach. He's an ex-champion. He's knocked out the champion.
He's a good coach. It's a good coach. It's a good team.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I think I can't really disagree on that. But I'm gonna go different. My concern is this. I'm gonna tip the Bloody Elves because it's Demented. But Demented, like me, has had awful luck in the playoffs. That would be my concern. But I see nothing here that scares him. The only two teams I'd be worried about would be Last Try and Dead, who we would meet later on, and then maybe Team Rocket. The other team, probably Silver Harlequins, but I'm a bit concerned, obviously, with the in playing the two-time champions Chaos Dwarfs. Even if he got through, he might not have much left. So I'm going to say the Bloody Elves for that. Now, Los Natas, yes, Flynn Sora, top-class coach. Guess what, though? No way does he make the final. I cannot believe you have tipped him to get to the final. Do you know nothing, Teddy? But I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why he doesn't make the final. Let's see what's going for him. Is an orc? Tick. Is a class coach? Tick. He's got guard? Yeah, tick. That's it. On the other side, he's got the top seed.
Tackle. Check.
He's top seed. Nuffle don't care about that. He's top seed. He doesn't deserve it. He should know, don't finish top. He finished top. But the problem is, you're telling me, right, he's got to go through Dave, right? He's got to go through Dave's Dwarfs. That is hard. Yes. Then he has to go through Gerdley, regarded as the best MML coach or one of the best MML coaches, or Segel, again, another top-class coach who's an ex-champion. Then you would expect Shagrath, who's got to the semi-finals and really should have got through last season, his kill team, so he's got to go through all that, and he better pray that Shagrath's drunk if he ends up going against him, right? And then, after getting through that, he's either going to go through the Great White Sharks, who will maybe not rip him up, to be fair, or the Blue and Yellows, or Nawak, or even Gasselmal. If he gets to the final, he bloody deserves to win it, because he has got a really, really, really hard running, and I can't do it. I cannot. I think he'll get beat by the Dwarf, so I can't tip him. I can't tip him for the final if I think he's going out first round. What he should do, because he finished first. You know, that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. You know, you can say,
anything could happen.
Yeah, but we say this every season. You know, and then when Aswin did get past the first round, and let's be honest, he played probably one of the weakest coaches of the full thing and only just scraped through, because Nuffle tried to stop him, but Aswin was so good. He then crashed out the round after. Top seed is jinxed. And Nuffles thanked him by being top seed by putting him up against the second seed. Then he's put him against either Gedley or Sergal. And then he's probably going to put him against the kill team of Shagrath. And then there's a good chance he's going to go against the Chaos dude. Or he's going to go against Blues and Yellows. Or maybe the other good Dwarf team. Or maybe, maybe even the other Orc team. Who knows? I just think I think it's a really, really, really tough road for him. Now then, who do I think will get through? Am I not allowed to pick myself? Is that the rules? Can I not put the pressure on myself? I would like to say, I would like to say it's me, but I suck in the playoffs. So I'm gonna, and you're gonna love this. I'm gonna go for Mint and Work to get it. I'm gonna go for Dave to beat your tip. I think Dave's Dwarfs will get it done. He just doesn't lose that often. I think he'll beat the Orcs. I think he'll slap Gerdley or Sergal who gets through. The imitations won't be because Shagrath will be too hammered. He'll be legless. So he'll be lucky if he finds where the controller is. And then obviously if the Great White Sharks don't get through, there is nothing for him to be worried about in the bottom half. He gets it done. Mint and Wet goes through to play, obviously, the Dark Elves. Sorry, not the Dark Elves, the Wood Elves. And then it's a toss of a coin between Demented and Dave. And you know what? It's heartbreak for Demented. It's so heartbreak. He thinks, yes, all my bad luck's gone, and then he gets a mare in the final. And Dave, from the UC Mafia clan, the cult of UC, they will have a hero. Dave will win it. Everyone will love him. My reputation of Bernie being cursed will be smashed. I will have the winner. I will have picked the final yet again, and Dave will win. The only way Dave doesn't win is if I win it. So there. Simple as.
Well, remember when I said there was a couple other teams that could have gone it? The other two teams were Dave's team and your team.
Yep.
But I just thought I just like Orcs is out of the three. I just like the Orcs. I think the
Yep.
Orcs. It's going to be a tough road for them, but I think they can do enough to hopefully get through and to do quite well.
Look, I said before, and I've stuck up for Flynn on a few of the chats before when I've really praised this guy because he's really good. I mean, like I said, he's Brett beat Gaston Miles under well, what I thought would go quite well last season. He's always done well. He beat Trippers' Norse with his Griff, and he uses Griff really well. So Flynn's always going to be big. I'm always going to be a big fan of Flynn, and he could win it. I'm not saying that, but he's got to go through all that with Orcs. Because don't forget, if he goes against Bretonians with all that bloody Dauntless and all that sort of stuff, I think as well, you know, it's Segel, or you've got Gedley, you've got Dave, you've got Shagrath, potentially me, you've got Nintendo. Oh, that is a hard road. That is a hard road. If he gets to the final, he deserves to win the full thing. And I will be so happy for him because Flynn is one of the nicest guys who plays Blood Bowl. But I've got to look at it realistically here. I can't see him getting past the first round. And he is top seed. People don't pay attention. You top seed, you go out. That's the Nuffle law. Nuffle decides, and he decides top seed goes out. So, unfortunately, good luck next season, Flynn. Unlucky. You got Nuffled. But that's what we'll be saying. That's exactly what we'll be saying against Minton Work. So, you know, there we go. We're done. I'm going to go and find out where Mutt is because obviously Narnia is supposed to be playing him now. So there's obviously been a bit of a problem with the time zones. But thanks everybody for listening. Obviously, Mystic Ted has decided. You know what? If it isn't broken, why
don't fix it?
Exactly. So he's gone back with his hashtag in Gimlick we trust. And to be honest, that is a good pick because his team is immense. He's a class coach. He's won it before. I just think Demented might do him. You know. So, hey, we'll see. But thanks again for Teddy again. Obviously awesome. Me and Mystic Teddy here. We'll be back for the day 2 of the second round and see how much of a thing we got wrong. And we'll be interested to see if our tips get through the first round. Because I'll tell you something, you will eat your words. Oh, you know what? I am scared, Flynn. I am scared. You're going down. Nuffle says you're going down. All I've got to say to you is top seed goes out. Simple as that. Dave, you better not let me down. Better not let me down, Dave, or you're in trouble. So yeah, there we go. So thanks again for Mystic Ted, aka Teddy Tom, joining me. It's always a pleasure when you're on, buddy. And obviously you are amazing with all your analysis. And obviously it's good for you because obviously I always mess up. So it's good to have someone to correct me all the time. Well, it's always good. And we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if your Orcs can beat my Dwarfs, won't we? Come on, the Dwarfs.
Well, hopefully I can somehow get into the cup for next season.
Mate, seriously, we're gonna
one time.
Mate, just go ogres, or goblins or something. We're going to get you in the Illuminati chat, or I tell you what you could do: get a nice big paper brown bag, fill it with a lot of cash, and give it to Gimlick. He'll get you in. I'll tell you that now. But hey, everyone in chat, you didn't hear that? Don't tell him. Don't tell him. Get it. He'll get you in. He'll fix it for you. Don't worry about it. That's the way you go. But how would you think everybody else gets in? It's not the best team, honest. Right, we've got to go, guys. I'm going to go and see if I can find out where Mutt is. But thanks again to everybody. Take care, and hopefully we'll see you shortly.
Yeah.
See you later.